Yes, so I'm a penetration tester, and I'm interested in taking this course because I'm currently doing a Android penetration test. So I'm trying to get this course to help me do the tests.
Okay, okay. So it's just like a more of a project requirement or like correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, okay. Thank you. So anybody would like to go next? Manoj, Prakash, Ranjit.
Actually, I'm working in web application pen testing and network penetration testing. So, in my company, we need some what we need some experience in mobile application. So that's why we need to learn something. Me and Ranjit are same company. So Ranjit actually is driving. No, I think he won't be introduced himself in between. After 20 minutes, he'll.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
okay. No issues, no issues.
yeah, fine, fine.
So, hi all, I'm Prakash. So, I'm working as web application security. I play around mostly on web application. I'll do bug bounty as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, I want to enhance my skill in Android as well. So, that's why I'm here.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Are you currently working or like are you currently studying?
No, I'm currently working.
Okay, okay. How many years of experience?
In which company?
Total, I have 1+ year of experience in Linux engineer, and currently I'm working as a application security in
Okay,
API convergence.
okay. Great, great. Thank you, Prakash, for your introduction.
Yeah, thank you, Shan.
So who's left? Bug tester. Like, could you please change your name as well and let us know your like. Can you please introduce yourself as well? Bug tester, are you there? Okay. I guess. Okay. Anyways, let's move ahead. I guess everybody has given the introduction, so let's move ahead, right? And now I'll walk through you to the course, to the modules of our course. Okay. So this is the syllabus of our Android application exploitation. Now, now this course is basically divided into various modules, which will be covering on daily basis. So particularly on count, it is 22 modules, which will be covered in this entire tenure when you enroll for the course. Okay. Now, just to give you more introduction about this course, now this course is designed in such a way that even if you don't have any prior experience in Android application pen testing or bug bounty hunting in Android application, then also you can opt for this course because we start from the scratch. Okay, we'll be going from the very scratch to the intermediate level. Okay, so this is what will be. So this is all about our course. Okay, and one more thing, I'll once I walk through, if you have any questions regarding the course, you feel free to interrupt me. Okay, I'll be there to answer you. Okay, so starting with the first module first, which is Android bug bounty hunting approach and introduction. Now, this is the very first module of this course where we'll be getting familiar and getting introduced to the Android application pen testing methodologies. Okay, where what are the various methodologies a pen tester or bug bounty hunter should keep in mind while hunting for bugs. Then we'll be getting familiar with the like what's the difference between a pen testing, Android application pen testing, and the bug bounty approach, right? Moving on, we'll be getting familiar like how we can prepare a well-done report specifically for mobile application. Now, this is a standard format, like it will be a standard format which will be keeping in mind for even for iOS applications. Okay. Also, we'll be trying to understand the attack surface, of the mobile application specifically for Android. Okay, so whether you talk about the client side vulnerabilities, whether you talk about server side vulnerabilities, whether you talk about logical security threats, all this will be covered in this model first. Okay, now comes the second module, second, which is Android application security testing lab environment. Now, in this part, we'll be creating our own lab uh, where you could install all your tools, okay, for your pen testing environment. Okay, so we will be talking about the pen testing operating systems, Genymotion, which is Android app emulator. Then we'll be talking about the Android application component like G Suite and ARM translator. Also, we'll be trying to understand the Android architecture. Now, here we'll be talking about the Android operating system architecture, the Android application framework, and the various permission model in the Android operating system. Okay, so we'll be talking about all these in this module second. Next comes this module third, which is primary stage to security analysis of the Android application. Okay, here we'll be talking about the various utilities like ADP. Okay, how we can set up this utility, what are the commands. Okay, how we can use this utility efficiently in our pen testing or bug bounty engagements. Okay, we'll be trying to understand the how we get an APK file. Okay, when how an source code gets compiled into an APK, which is Android application. Okay, we'll be talking about the structure of the Android application, which is APK again. We'll be trying to will so now again moving on, we'll be also trying to understand how we can do the reverse engineering or the decompilation of the Android application using various tools like Dextrojarden APK tool. Okay. Moreover, we'll be also trying to understand like what's the difference between unzipping and unpacking. Now, these are two different terms. Okay, we'll be trying to understand in respect to the pen testing. Next comes this module fourth, which is code quality and building settings of the Android applications. Okay, so now in this part, we'll be trying to understand we'll be reviewing the Android manifest file, okay, which contains the core properties of the Android application. Okay, and also we'll be trying to understand how a bug bounty hunter, a pen tester, or security researcher, bug bounty hunter could review the manifest elements, how we can analyze those manifest elements as well. Okay, so all this will be covered in this module fourth. Next comes this module fifth, which is tampering Android application security analysis. Okay, in this part, we'll be looking into how we'll be learning how we can sign the Android applications manually. Okay, we'll be looking into what is code obfuscation. Okay, what are the code protection techniques. Okay, how those can be implemented into the uh, Android applications. Okay, like how what makes Android application vulnerable related to code obfuscation techniques. Then we'll be looking into how we can add malicious code to the Android application, how we can detect for debugs, how we can detect for root detections, how we can check if the application is making check for the VM, which is virtual machines. So, and also how we can bypass that. All this will be covered in this module fifth. Okay. Uh, okay. If you have come across like various banking applications or UPI application, does anybody know about routing an Android device? Anybody familiar?
Yes, Ishan. Like we have got full privileges of that device.
Correct. Absolutely. So if you have noticed, like you cannot run any of the financial applications on a rooted device,
Correct.
right? So we'll be looking into how we can bypass those checks. Okay, which makes an application not to run on a rooted device. Okay, so all those checks, how we can bypass those, what are the checks that a developer makes in the application in order to check for rooted device, all this will be covered in this module fifth. So I was talking about this root detections. Okay, then moving ahead, we'll be talking about moving ahead with the security analysis of the Android source code. Okay, so now in this part we'll be talking about like how we can analyze the source code of the application. Okay, in terms of vulnerabilities, whether it may be any hard coded issue, whether it may be a code flow issue, anything. Okay, how we can set up our lab, how to analyze. Okay, all this will be covered in this module 6. Okay, also we'll be looking into how we can look for the vulnerable functions in the source code. Okay.
So, for this source code analysis, are you using a Mobi as a like tool or something else?
It will be a mixed approach. It will be not just a mobisif. It will be also a manual approach as well.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Moreover, also we'll be covering the how we can do the dynamic security analysis of the Android application. Okay. Using the Trojan framework. Okay. So all this will be covered in this module 6. Next on this module 7, which is insufficient transport layer protection. Uh, okay, in this part, we'll be looking into how we can do this dynamic security analysis using Burp Suite. Burp Suite, all we know. So, since we all are from this security background, so we know that Burp Suite is very much a proxy tool. So, we'll be looking at how we can integrate any Android device with the Burp Suite, how we can capture the HTTP traffic. Okay, we'll be getting familiar with the expose framework. Okay, and also we'll be getting familiar with the SSL pinning and how to bypass those SSL pinning logics in the Android application. All this will be covered in this module 7th. Okay, next comes this module 8th, which is insecure connection and untrusted connection. Okay, in this model we'll be looking into how we can look for if an application making a use for insecure network protocols, if the authentications are happening over insecure network protocols, or if the data transmission happening over insecure network protocols. So all this will be covered in this module 8. Okay, next on this module 9th, which is insecure logging security issues. Okay, just like any other operating system. Yeah, anybody was trying to say?
Yeah, Ishan, can you brief about a little bit more about insecure communication?
Okay, so every applications makes a HTTP call in the background. Okay,
Okay.
just like your web application. So we'll be looking into if those connections are secure enough or not. If any of the sensitive information has to be transmitted from client to server, server to client.
Okay. It's not about the configuration. Like generally, I have seen
No,
like in configuration, some network settings to be true or something like false. So we are going to test that whether the flow of HTTP or HTTPS.
correct.
That one, right? Are you
Yeah.
referring?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So next comes this module 9, which is insecure logging security issues. Okay, so in this part, just like any other operating system like Linux or Windows, or even our Android operating system creates some logs. Okay, now we'll be looking into if any of the leakages happening in the form of logs. Okay, so whether it may be a verbose error, whether it may be a authentication token leakage, whether it may be a sensitive information disclosure or an API information. So we'll be looking into all these issues related to logs, okay, of the Android operating systems in this module 9th. Next comes this module 10th, which is insecure sensitive hard coding issues. So now we'll be looking into all the hard code related issues, like where the developer makes in the Android applications. So we'll be looking to various areas where we could look for hard coding issues. In respect to API key leakage, authentication token leakage, internal IP disclosure, Git repository disclosures, third-party secrets, and sensitive information disclosures. So all this will be covered in this module 10. Next comes this module 11th, which is confidential information exposure by design. So now in this part, we'll be looking into various leakages related to confidential information. Okay, in the form of backup storage. Okay, whether it in the form of backup storage, whether it may be in the form of screen capture, how we can perform an application level denial of service attack. Leakage is happening because of the virtual keyboards, clipboards, user interfaces, okay, and even for your virtual memory. Okay, leakage is happening in the virtual memory. So all this will be covered in this module 11. Next comes this module 12th, which is security issues in the OAuth implementation. Okay, so OAuth is nothing. It's a very popular standard, open authorization. So so we'll be looking into all the issues related to OAuth implementations in the Android applications. Okay, so if there are any leakages of the OAuth tokens in the form of Android logcats, shared preferences, OAuth hard-coded secret tokens, or if there's any inadequate transmission protection. Okay, so all this will be covered in this module 12th. Next comes this module 13th, which is insecure cryptographic storage. Okay, so in this part we'll be looking into all the cryptographic related storage to your Android applications in the form of secret databases, internal storage, external storage, or it may be a shared preferences. So all this will be covered over here. Next on this model 14, which is unprotected application components. Now this is one of the important module of this course. Why? Because we'll be focusing towards the components of the Android application. Now these components are nothing but the building blocks of the Android application. So we'll be looking into how we can exploit each and every component which makes an Android application. Okay, whether you talk about unprotected services, whether you talk about unprotected activities, leaking content providers, typos in custom permissions, and broadcast receivers, fragment injections, and like how you can manipulate the unprotected activities as well. All these will be covered in this module 14th. Next on this module 15, which is private file access security issues. Now, just like we get file inclusion issues in the web part, the web application part, similarly, we'll be looking into all the we'll be looking into issues related to file inclusion, typically local file inclusions in respect to Android applications. Okay, we'll be looking into how we can perform the remote code executions in the Android application, how we can override the data using path traversals, or also related to zip. How we can do that using zip file traversals. Okay, so all this will be covered in this module 15th. Next comes this testing code quality and injection flaws. In this part, we'll be looking into how we can look for injection flaws. Okay, so like like SQL injections. SQL injections, we are familiar that we generally find SQL injections are only applicable to web applications, but not. It's not. Even we can find SQL injection in the Android application as well. Similarly goes with the SQL injection, accesses as well, because it also comes under injection attacks. Okay, how we can look for improper markup centralizations, how we can crash an application, and DOS using another application. Okay, same, and also we'll be covering how we can look for insecure deep links which may lead to sensitive information disclosures in the Android application. All this will be covered in this module 16. Next, we'll be looking into module 17, which is security analysis of the API endpoints using Telnet Fiddler. Now, Telnet Fiddler is another tool. It's a very popular tool in the security domain. How in this part we'll be looking into how we can compose the API calls, how we can capture the API calls, how we can filter the application related traffic, how we can analyze the API calls, how we can analyze the authentication endpoints, how we can analyze the sensor data like which are there in the API in those API calls. All this will be covered in this module 17. From this comes the module 18, which is insufficient anti-automation. Okay, so in this part we'll be looking into all the issue related to anti-automation in the various parts of the application, like registration pages, login pages, and the password reset functions. So in this part we'll be looking into all the anti-automation related to related checks. Next comes module 19, which is insecure authentication authorization. Okay, so in this part we'll be looking into how we can bypass the two-factor authentications like the OTPs. Okay, uh, like if you have noticed in the modern applications, in every modern application you have an option like whether you can opt for 2FA, which is two-factor authentication. So where you receive an OTP and you have to submit to the application, and this is how you authenticate to the application. Okay, so we'll be looking into how we can if we can bypass that OTP as well. Okay, in during using various approaches. Okay, then also we'll be looking into if then application is having a fingerprint. Okay, fingerprint. Now modern UPI applications have this feature. Okay, so we'll be looking into as well like how we can bypass those fingerprint authentication as well in the Android application. Uh, Next comes the module 20th, which is improper access control. Okay, so in this part we'll be looking into all the issues related to access control, improper access control, insufficient entropy for random values, and the PIA information disclosure. Okay, uh, next comes this module 21st, which is server-side vulnerabilities. Okay, so this model covers all the issue related to your server-side vulnerabilities, whether you talk about the session handlings, leakage of API tokens, okay, improper restriction of the misconfigured API, improper restriction of the unprotected API endpoints, and also if those API endpoints are transmitted in a clear text. All this will be covered in this module. This is now comes the last module, which is module 22nd, beware of recent and vulnerabilities. Now this module is not only focused towards the Android applications, but also focused to your Android OS as well. Okay, so these are the some of the vulnerabilities which are focused towards both Android application as well as your Android operating system as well. So, namely, tap checking vulnerability, remote wipe vulnerability, AAPT time zone disclosure bug, Android master key vulnerability, and address path spoofing vulnerability. These are the vulnerability which we covered in this last module, which is module 22nd. Okay, now this was the last module of this course. Now to give you a demo like how we'll be hunting for like up for bugs in the Android application. So just for a demo purpose, let's pick one of the issues in the Android application components. Uh, let's pick this one. Okay, which is unprotected app activities. Okay, I have this device running on my system. Okay, and this is just to give you introduction to the application. And this is nothing but a third party locker application. Okay, so which replaces your native lock mechanism of your Android operating system, which facilitates the user to lock their devices. Okay, so now it's nothing but a third party like locker application. Okay, so as you could see on the screen, I have enabled the screen lock over here. Okay, and if I come down to the security tab of this application over here, screen lock. Okay, I have three options. I could select the none, like simply swiping up on the screen and I will be into the phone, or I could set the pin mechanism, or I could set the gesture lock. I could set the pattern lock. Okay, so these are the three ways I could set a password mechanism on my device. So right now, as you can see, I've selected the pin mechanism. Okay, so if I enter the lock screen, okay, swipe to my right, you could see this application. Okay, it is acting as an administrator to this device and asking the user to give a valid password to go further from the screen. Okay, so if I give 1 2 3 4, this is my actual password. Okay, then only I could go ahead and authenticate myself. But let's let's enter this lock screen again. If I enter a wrong password, I'm not allowed to enter, which is typically a normal behavior of any authentication mechanism. Okay, so let's see if we could bypass this authentication mechanism or not. Okay, so first of all, let me just connect to my device. So I'm just doing a port forwarding. I'm opening a port on my device. Then let me just connect to the console. Oops, sorry. There's a spelling mistake. Okay, so I've launched another terminal on my right hand side of the screen. Okay, first of all, what I have to do is I have to look for the application which I have to exploit. Okay, so I'm giving command called run app.package.list -f and some keyword. So I'll give a keyword as locker. So it will scan all the applications which are there on my phone having a keyword called locker in their names. Enter. Okay, so in return we got this package name, or we could say in a layman manner, this is the application name. So now this name belongs to this application over here. Okay, now let's just identify the attack surface of this application. So run app.package.attack surface and the package name. Okay, so you could see we have two activities which are exported, 6 broadcast receivers which are exported, 5 services are exported. Now these are the components of the Android application. Okay, now these, if in a, okay, so I can say these are the attack surface of my Android application. Okay, of this application. So currently, what we are trying to do is we are trying to do exploit the activities. Okay, so let us expand. What are the name of the activities which are exploited? Just give me a second. Okay, sorry for the interruption. Now moving on, let's expand the names of the activities which are exported. So run app dot activity dot info hyphen a and the application name. Okay, so these are the activities which are exported over here. The two activities. One is com.ogapps.battery.home activity. Another is organization.mimas notify.fb dialog activity. Okay, and these two activities have one thing in common. They have permissions are set to null. Okay, so we are ready to go and exploit those. So let's pick this one. Okay, let's try to invoke or call this activity. Okay, okay, so let me just start this activity on app.activity dot start double hyphen component. First comes the package name. Okay, obviously this terminal has to identify like component of which application has to be exploited. So we are defining the package name first, and after that the component over here. Okay, so as you could see, the device, the application is behaving normally, right? We are at the lock screen. Okay, and asking the application is asking for a password to go further. If I press enter over here, you could see I have entered into the application. Okay, and without actually providing the password. Okay, and this is a live application. This is not a demo application. This is a live application. So can you imagine like what is the severity of this issue?
Bypassing the privileges.
Not privileges. We have bypassed the authentication schema.
Yes, sorry, authentication. Right. I think it's privilege.
Yeah. So how would you rate it? Like from informational to critical, how would you rate it? In high, information, low, medium, high, critical.
Critical. Actually, this the application is worked on only the locker, right? Which means
exactly. Now, since the application nature is to protect the end user who is using it, which makes the itself but that application itself is vulnerable. Okay.
Yeah, core value of the application is vulnerable.
Exactly. Yes. So how would this application would protect the end user? Okay, so now let's suppose if the device is in the wrong hands of any attacker, he could get into the device, he could transfer data, whatever his intentions are, the attacker's intentions are.
Yeah, this could possible when we have in a local network, right?
Yeah, we have to be in a local network.
Yeah, thanks.
But there are ways we can create a rogue application, a malicious application that we can send it across to the victim.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Yeah. A little clarification, please. The authentication bypass that you just performed now.
Mm-hmm.
Is it for you to log into the Jenny motion or an application running inside the Jenny motion? Which in particular, please? This is
Okay.
Austin.
Okay. I got you. So it is not restricted only to Genymotion. If you have a physical device as well, okay, then also you can perform this. Then also you can replicate the same.
No, what I meant is the attack you just performed now. Is it
I'm sorry, Austin, your voice broke down. Can you please repeat?
against an application motion?
Austin, your voice broke down. I guess there's some network issue. Can you please pardon me?
Okay. What I'm asking,
Mm-hmm.
the authentication bypass, was
Mm-hmm.
it against a mobile app running inside the Jenny motion?
Mm-hmm. Yes, this issue is there. It's present in the application which is there on my Genymotion device, not on,
Okay. Okay.
not in on the Android device. It's in this issue is residing in the Android application.
Okay. That's it.
Okay. And also, let's just to let you know, this is a live application. Okay. So yeah, so now this is just to give you demo. Like this was like one of the issue, just to give you demo, like what kind of things we'll be doing in the session and what type of application will be coming across. So this is one such demo. Okay, so just like this, all the models which you saw on the screen over here, okay, will be covered on 90% on live applications. Okay, and 10% on demo applications. Now 10% demo application because they are some technology limitation which we cannot perform every issue on a live application. So that's the case. We are picking the 10% demo application. Otherwise, everything will be covered on a live application. Okay. Uh, then after every lecture, after every session, I'll be providing you notes, okay, which I'll be making, which I'll be noting now during the time of session. Okay, I'll be showing you blogs. Okay, I'll be showing you the applications. Okay, which I'll be demonstrating you at the time of session. Okay, all this will be sent to you after the session, just like which you saw over here right now. Okay, uh, okay. Then we have now all these modules covers uh, 80% practical, 10% theory. Okay. Uh, then we will be also providing you a completion certificate from our end after you complete this course. Okay, if you have, she does asking, does any of the topics require any programming skills? If you have, that is an added advantage top up. But if you don't have, then also it's fine. Okay, also I'm coming to that point, like to the training part, the to the timings. So just give me a second. Okay, so I said like we'll be providing you a completion certificate after you complete the course. Then the duration, I'll be talking about the duration. It will be 30 to 45 days. We take an average of this. Okay, we take an average of 30 to 45 days. It may be so. It could be possible your course may end in 30 days as well. It could be possible your course may end in 45 days as well, or it could be possible your course may end in 40 days as well. So it all depends on the pace we are running on. Okay, then the timing. Okay, so it will be Monday to Friday. Okay, 1 hour. Okay, and timing would be 9:30 p.m. IST. Okay, I'm sure I'm sure this time would be you would be comfortable would be comfortable to each one of you. Since we most of us are working professional, so I guess this time would be comfortable.
Yeah, Ishan,
Yeah, no problem.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Last.
And
Yeah.
yeah, like you'll start from start in the sense like for this Genymotion actually I tried to install it prior to the session.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to install this Genymotion and started a device, but it's showing me error. If we
Mm-hmm.
have few doubts, like silly doubts, it might be because we are a starter now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if we have that kind of doubts, will you clarify, like showing us
Yes.
in a demo? We
Sure.
can
Sure.
share
Definitely. Definitely.
we can share our screen and you will explain us, and all kind of things will be done.
Definitely, definitely. If you have
Yeah.
if you have any if you face any problem while setting up your environment, so we could
Okay.
so we can connect on the next day, at the time of session. Okay,
Okay.
and we could spend the first 10-15 minutes clearing those doubts or queries.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Okay, so now last comes the fee part. Okay, so fee would be 6,000 rupees INR or 100 USD. Okay, so this is all about our course related to Android application, pen testing or bug bounty hunting. So any of you having questions, please feel free to ask me. Related to module, related to timings, related to anything.
Actually, everything is clear.
Okay, okay. So okay. Yeah, I missed this starting date. So we are starting from Monday onwards, which is 13th, 13th December.
Yeah, Ishan, one query from my side.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Suppose if I missed any classes, like sometimes what happen in production, we have to expand our timings. So it is possible to get the recordings from you.
Okay. First of all, video recording and uh, video recording is prohibited. Okay, and also I don't record these sessions. But
Okay,
if you miss any sessions, we can cover those at the end of the course.
at the end of the course. Okay.
Okay, so don't feel like if you have missed, that is missed. No, we can cover that at the end of the course, not in the middle.
Okay, yeah, fine then. Thank you.
Welcome.
But I have a very big question on this because
Mhm.
the team is like, sorry, the candidates are like 10 to approx 10 members. If each day one member miss the class, and how come you cover all the topics at last again? It's not possible. No?
Don't worry about that. It is not restricted. Like I'll give a just a one session, and that will be done. No.
Okay, okay, then that's great. No, yeah,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else from anyone? Anybody would like to know about anything else about the course?
No, not related to course, related to your background.
Mm-hmm.
I'm eager to know.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I am Ishan Arora. I have experience of this in infosec domain or cybersecurity, specifically only to VAPT. I have experience of 4 years in this VAPT. Okay, so I'm more of a pen tester, a security researcher. Listen, so I'm more into pen testing. I'm currently working in a big four organization, also associated with Hacktivist.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Welcome. Anything else?
Hello, hi. Hello,
Hello. Yes, Vishal.
hello. Really?
Hello. Yes, you are audible, Vishal. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I was yes. Is work experience required?
I didn't get you, Vishal. Like there's a lot of verbal in your voice. Can you please let's send your query in the chat if you don't mind?
So,
Hello, Vishal. You can also put your query in the chat. Okay. If you no Vishal, if you don't have any Linux experience, then also fine because we are talking about a different technology, which is mobile application. So if you don't have any experience with the Linux, then also it's fine.
Shan, one query.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, any specific system requirement for this course, like
No,
for
no, no, no. Like
Genymotion?
uh, a RAM, a decent amount of RAM. Like if you have 8 GB or more than enough, that will be all, and a good processor like i5.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Anything else?
No, Nish. Yeah, thank you. That's it.
Okay. So I guess no more questions or queries. So I guess we can wind up this session. And if you have any questions uh, related to course, okay, you feel free to contact me on WhatsApp. or also you can contact the number which you have from which you have got the link to this session. Okay, you can click on this link. Okay, and you can get in contact with the any of the representative from Hacktivists, and he'll be there to help you out. Okay, so so thank you for joining, everyone. Have a good day, a good night. I'll see you on Monday. Hope to see you soon. Okay, so thank you, everyone. Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye bye.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Have
Hello.